What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Few announcements before we get started. I'm going to go through them fast. Hit that like button. Smack it. Latest SmackDown, like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. And if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV, or go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button there. I'll read your questions or comments live on air and as they come in, if the creek don't rise. Amazing stuff. Make sure you guys go follow and watch the audio only podcast if you prefer to do that as well on Spotify and on Apple Podcast, something like that. So go check those out. They're not live, but you can watch past shows. Let's get into it. We got some stuff to get into. I wanted to speed through the announcements because I got some clips I want to show you, some stories, and then I got some calls to take. And I want to be able to get it all done within an hour. You know what I mean? So let's not speed through, but let's get to it. Let's get into it. Shout out chats all across the board. Make sure Instagram is running here. I think we're good. Right on. Shout out Hassan, IG chat. Shout out CG. Shout out Surge. Amazing stuff. Listen, guys, we got to talk. We got to talk about evil being disguised as love. Ooh, it is disguised. And not everyone is going to notice, and not everyone can see it, and that's the problem. And that's how evil is making its way. It's disguised. Evil, for the most part, is not going to be out and open and obvious. It got to deceive. It got to be deceptive. It got to be tricky. It's got to be. Because that's how Satan operates. But that's why we got to know ourselves, get to know ourselves, be aware, pay attention, observe, so we can catch him. Because he's in there working at it. So evil disguised as love. First thing I want to say is the failures of the fathers are a big part to play in this. Failures of the fathers, woo-wee. The fathers that are just the men in general missing the mark. It's a big cause. Because I realized with the fathers, I realized that the fathers that leave the mother to raise the child by themselves. Now, I know that there are situations where the father is not intentionally trying to lead the child, or maybe the mother is preventing the father from seeing the child. So many different things, right? But at the end of the day, when a father is gone and the mother is raising a child by themselves, even the best mothers, even the best examples of mothers, right? The ones who even return to God and overcome, they still will not be able to raise the child. They can do it the best way they can, the best they can, but they'll still miss the mark. And you need the father there. You need the father and the mother in the home, right? But the father plays a very crucial role. And I know that the ladies don't like to hear that. Well, not the bond ladies, not the ladies in the chat. But the father plays a crucial role. The mothers can't do it alone. I'm going to give you an example of why the mothers can't do it alone. First off, it's just It's not in them to lead in that way. It's just not in them. They're not created to do that. And that's not a put down. It's just how it is. They're not created to lead in specific ways. They have responsibilities. They have things. Women have things that they do. Wives have things that they do. Mothers have things that they do that are very important, very necessary. So it ain't a put down. But there's certain things a woman, a wife, and a mother just can't do that a father has to do. And I want to show you guys an example of why. This is from Instagram. I can't even begin to pronounce the name of the Instagram. Hoda Coat on Instagram. Hoda Coat B. But this is where a mother tells son what she sees when she looks into his eyes. Here we go.
When you look into my eyes, what do you see? When I look into your eyes, I see lots of power, lots of ambition, lots of curiosity. I see the best parts of me, really. Without the weight of the world. I see that. And I see your lashes that I'm somewhat jealous of. So yeah.
That is a perfect example of evil disguised as love. And this lady, I know nothing about her. Maybe that wasn't intentional. But that's a perfect example of evil disguised as love. Turning the little boys into little girls. There ain't no way that little boy should be up there looking in his mama's eyes and the mama telling him that he's powerful and beautiful and then crying. Ain't no way that that's normal. And this is what happens when fathers are not around. The mothers, they just can't handle it. They can't help it. The mothers and the women are emotional. They are emotional. They can't help it. And there's times where they don't see clear. And they think that that's love. There's no way. That's destroying that little boy. Destroying that little boy. Because it's making him emotional as well. It's teaching him how to respond to women in the wrong way. It's not right for men. It's not good. And I don't know if the father is there or the father is around or not. I don't know. But evil disguised as good. The boy will grow up. Hopefully not. God forbid the boy grow up and be, I don't know, a mess. But that was not good. And that's what happens when the fathers aren't there. Evil disguises love. And people will see that video. Trust me, you'll see in the comments. Ooh. People will see that video and be like, that is so cute. That is so beautiful. I love this. That is just amazing because it seems and looks like love on the outside. Heartwarming moment, but it ain't heartwarming. Heart turning. Gut wrenching. Backstabbing. Nick. But that's not good. That's not good. I have more examples that I want to show you guys. But I play that to say over time, this is what has been happening in our society. This is what has been happening in the world over years and years and years and years and years and years and years of that happening within the homes. Just weakness and weakness and weakness and weakness. And when that happens over time, this is how you have a society that becomes weaker. This is how this society has become weaker over time. It just, of those little examples like that, of turning the boys away, turning the little girls away, men not being strong, women not knowing what is right and what's wrong. That's how this stuff happens. And then what do you end up with? I'ma show you. What do you end up with? You end up with a Kamala Harris. That's what you end up with. Running for president of the United States of America. With no shame, no maybe I'm a woman, I shouldn't do this, no nothing. All pride. That's how you get that. Here's a clip from Instagram. On NBC News, Kamala was interviewed and had some stuff to say. Let's roll the clip.
Donald Trump, who tried to undo a free and fair election, who still denies the will of the people, who incited a violent mob to attack the United States Capitol, and 140 law enforcement officers were attacked. Some were killed. This is a serious matter. The American people are, at this point, 2 weeks out, being presented with a very, very serious decision about what will be the future of our country. And it includes whether we are a country that values a president who respects their duty to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Donald Trump had said he would terminate the Constitution of the United States. The American people are being presented with a choice here about whether we want a president who understands that America must stand strong as a leader around the globe, or an individual in Donald Trump who openly admires dictators. My goodness, recent reports that he gave COVID tests to the president of Russia during the height of the pandemic here, when Americans couldn't get their hands on COVID tests. These are the choices before the American people right now. The choice before the American people is the choice to choose to turn the page on the division and the hate, and to bring our country together, knowing the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us.
How you just sit up there and lie? Straight up. And I'm going to point out the lies. I'm going to point out the lies. She said Donald Trump incited a violent mob to attack the Capitol. Flat out lie. And this is what evil does, though. This is what evil does. It calls out even though it's doing what it calls out, right? They do that. The Democrats incite that. They backed Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter did what? Black Lives Matter caused a ruckus. They burned buildings. They trashed businesses. A black cop was killed. So much for Black Lives Matter. Let me calm down. Black cop was killed during the riots. They even defunded the police. Black Lives Matter, backed by Democrats, did way more destruction than Donald Trump saying what he said about the January 6th thing. And I got some proof for that too. We're gonna get into that. Right? We're gonna get into that. But Donald Trump incited violence, but not the Democrats. Oh no, they didn't do it. They don't incite violence at all. Nuh-uh. They didn't incite no violence. They incite the real violence. I got some stuff to show you. Listen. Hold on, we're gonna bring the receipts. This is from Daily Mail. here is where a segment of Trump's speech on January 6th, right before the Capitol incident that took place. This is where they say that Donald Trump incites violence. We're going to get into it.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country.
Right. Yeah, they hate that. They hate that he said that peacefully and patriotically. And this was before they went to January 6th. Everybody already knows this, but we're just going to go over it again for the sake of conversation. Peacefully and patriotically, he said that they're going to do that before the rally, but that's not what they got him for. That's not what they're able to drag him down for. No, it's because he said this. This is from the Washington Post. Trump also tells audience to fight like hell.
You don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
That's what they accuse him for inciting violence. And maybe a couple silly things. I don't know. But that's the main thing. Out of all the sources that I looked up, it was because he said, fight like hell. Am I lying? Am I lying? Fight like hell. That's why I said. Listen to when he says it. For one, he said peacefully and patriotically, right? That should be enough, but it's not enough. It's because he said this.
You don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Does that mean to you go beat up people and cause violence? Fight like hell doesn't have to mean that, but of course they're gonna push that to the limit, and they did. They pushed that to the limit. And there's mess that went down on January 6th that shouldn't have went down. This messy stuff, right? Because nobody should be acting up, acting crazy. Does nothing. But that's nowhere near what Black Lives Matter has done. Not even close. Not even thing. But Black Lives Matter is chilling. Black Lives Matter is chilling right now. Money. They got money. They are chilling right now. Nobody's after them, nothing. But all the January 6ers, oh yeah, best believe, they're demonized. Crazy stuff. Not only that, I'm not done. I ain't done yet. So if Trump says, fight like hell, and that is inciting violence, then what about when people like Eric Holder say stuff like this? This is from the Federalist Paper Project. Eric Holder said, this is where Eric Holder also incites violence. If we're talking about inciting violence, this sounds like inciting violence to me if we're using the same example on Trump. Here we go.
Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, you know. She and my wife, like, really tight, which always scares me and Barack.
Beta.
But Michelle always says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
When they go low, we kick them. If we're going to talk about silly, petty, inciting violence claims, let's throw that in there. Where's the attack on him? Come on, make it fair across the board. When they go low, we kick them. I don't even care about that comment, like whatever. It's silly to me. But if we're going to be petty, let's be petty. Let's be petty. He said kick him. Oh, so did we throw him in jail? Maybe his parents. It's that joke. But come on. Why we get to pick and choose now? That man at home sleeping well like a baby. Ain't nobody coming after him. He said, when we go low, we kick him. Where's that at? How come there ain't no backlash on that? But we being petty? Oh, come on, let's be petty. Let's keep going. This is from Yahoo News. What about what Maxine Waters was also inciting violence?
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Push back on there. That means violence. Push back. She said push back. Oh, that has to mean violence. So we should lock her up. Where's the outcry about that? That sounds like inciting violence to me if we're using those same standards. Come on. If we're gonna be petty across the board. But that's not what's happening. Because it's deeper than that. It's because they hate Donald Trump because he represents the truth and he's white. And he's trying to do the right thing. And Satan hates that. And the people who are possessed by Satan, influenced by Satan, blind and can't see, are falling right in line with the wicked ways of evil. The Democrats are liars. And this is just, I ain't learned this from nobody. Listen, I ain't learned this from nobody. I hear some of my fellow, what do I say, colleagues, they say it on their show. They say stuff about politics and stuff like that. But I like to know what I know and know what I know. Because I got to believe it first, whether I'm wrong or right. I got to believe it myself first before I speak on it. So I ain't stealing nothing off of Hake or Nick or Jesse Lee Pearson. No, this is what I'm seeing with my own eyes. They lying. They making stuff up. And they not being honest across the board. And they finding little petty things and they're trying to do whatever they can to smear Donald Trump. Where am I lying? Tell me where I'm lying. So if you're going to be petty, that's fine. Be petty across the board. But if you're not going to be petty across the board, then be fair. Everybody know what Donald Trump said. Everybody already knows, but it don't matter. And there's only a person, only someone who has wickedness in their heart would use that like that. That's insane stuff. So I don't know, y'all. I'm just paying attention. I'm just paying attention. And it get worse and worse. And now all the demons calling in. Well, not all of them. But I see them hopping on the phones. Joel, you even sound like Jesse now. Just be yourself, bro. All right, Thomas. Whatever you say. Amazing stuff. Let me get you some calls because the lines are smoking. King Wesley says, boo! Joel trying to incite a riot himself. I'm just pointing out the truth as I see it, right? Anyway, let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How's it going, Josh? All is well.
All right. All the demons calling in, huh?
Oh, they calling.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I was calling about that Breakfast Club interview
Okay,
with
go ahead.
Laura Trump as it relates to that whole situation kind of reminded me. I told you my brother married a white girl, and when she with the family, it's kind of like grilling like little shots at her like that. You know, less black and highly favored. What he said at the beginning, remember?
Yeah.
And you know, I guess I sent a super chat yesterday saying that you know, that's not a reason not to race mix, but it's
Oh yeah.
yeah. You said, just because somebody is judging you, that doesn't mean you should avoid race mixing. Because I was like, you know, that's the problem with race mixing, is that it facilitates judgment in society.
Right, but that's not the responsibility. That's not my responsibility. I didn't facilitate judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
not nobody facilitating that but the person who's judging.
Right. So what it comes down to is that people can't help. You're not in control whether you race mix or not.
Right.
That's what. Okay. So you don't have a choice. I mean, so that way. But people are going to judge you, and it's the same with being gay. You don't have a choice whether you're gay or not.
Well, see,
I don't think.
Right.
I don't believe so.
No, you know, the point that I was trying to make is that, like, for one, there's a way, like, say I'm not saying that there's not a improper way to go about dating outside your race. Like, there's not that if you just, I'm not saying it's not improper, but I'm also saying that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong if it happens that way. I don't think anybody should go out their way and set out to date a separate race. You know, if they're doing that, then they have an agenda, right? To reject their parents or to reject their own, whatever. But if it happens that way, it is what it is my point. And if people judge, then yeah, that does bring challenges that can make the relationship more complicated. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong and it can't work out.
So would you say that homosexuality is wrong and can't work out too? Or is that would you say that's the same concept?
I don't think that they fall into the same category because homosexual. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all identity, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't even think homosexuality,
I think it does, man.
I don't even think homosexuality is real. I don't think it exists, meaning in the sense of all it is just a perversion of false identity, but everybody has
kink.
perversions. Yeah, everybody
has a kink. Yeah.
Has a perversion that needs to be overcome. So I don't necessarily see homosexuality in itself or the people who are homosexual as a bad thing, but it's improper. It's improper.
And that's how I see race mixing. I see it as improper, but, you know, I guess people can't help it. And I would even go further to say that even marriage between same race, just marriage in general, is improper.
In the same degree.
The S word is improper.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's all the same.
It is.
It's all in the same ballpark, but I just don't see it as wrong. It can be done in a proper way. But yeah, it's not something that you want to say is God. Yeah, exactly.
Neither right or wrong. That's what Jesse says. So that's the best way to explain that thing. Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah, and then real quick, one other topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Asking a girl to obey you on the first date, I think that's the same thing as if a girl asks you about joint bank accounts on the first date.
Oh, yeah. What were you about to say?
I mean, I think that's the same. That's like a different way of asking. Like if a woman asks you, like, we're going to have joint bank accounts as a married couple while you're dating. You know, should we get married? Do you think we would have joint bank accounts, or what do you think, Joel? You think I should just stay home and you do all the working and you have the bank account?
Great question.
Or I'm working now. I don't, should we join our bank account? This may be a whole different subject for a whole different show.
No.
But, that was interesting to me when Terry brought that up. That sounded like the obey me question. So
yeah, I mean, to me, it's the same. To me, it's like these are questions that are unnecessary. You know, these things will come up, meaning like these are conversations that don't even need to be had yet. When that time comes, you and the other person will see what the right thing to do is for your family and the situation is. Typically, it's best if the woman doesn't know the bank account. Typically, right? I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but because it just causes unnecessary stress when the bank account goes up and down or whatever. The man can handle that more. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they can't have joint bank accounts, that they can't have separate ones. You just see what to do when the moment comes, type of thing. But to ask that on a first date, all that stuff is just there's already a false agenda going there.
Just because it's like you don't want to waste time, but I guess if you date for 7 years, that'll you'll eventually iron out the details. No rush, but I think that's the thing about dating. People don't want their time wasted, but you don't know though.
You won't waste. And another thing is too, you're not wasting time. You're gonna see what you need to see when you need to see it, and it's not up to whether you ask the right questions or whether she makes the right move. All that is just irrelevant. You'll know when you know.
Okay. All right. That was interesting. I may disagree with you. I may call you back later, but I'm going to let you move the lines, man. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it, Josh. Thank you, man.
All right, bye.
Cool. Let's move the calls. We got people that want to get in on this. Let me go to Maze, first-time caller. Oh, not first-time caller. Maze from Ohio. Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Joel.
How's it going, Maze?
Yeah, I listened to your reality TV you just played.
Oh, yeah.
Black Lives Matter. I'm going to talk about Jimmy Carter first.
Okay.
Now, Jimmy Carter.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
The president, Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
He lost his election. He went home.
I'm millennial. Go ahead.
So the man is 100 years old now. He wanted to stay here so he can cast his vote, which he got the opportunity to do. Now, why didn't he go home and do what he just left? He was president and he just left it alone. He didn't try to go to the Congress and change stuff. He didn't go and do all these different things that we're looking at. You know, he just lost his job and went on about his business. Why couldn't that happen to everybody else? You got to put your nose in there and stick your nose in there and have the reality TV people. That's what I look at them as, reality TV. So the truth stands by itself and a lie will travel. So I'm going to tell you how this truth, how it travels.
Okay.
For that day, before January 6th, what did Trump say? And tell them people to invite him now.
You want me to read it again? He said peacefully go out there and protest peacefully and patriotically.
I said before they went there. When he invited them there, he didn't invite them on January 6th. He invited them some days before January 6th.
Okay.
And what did he say would happen?
Fill us in. Tell us.
No. I want you to do your research since you passing this along as a Christian.
No, I want to see what you have to say about it, and I'll let you know if that's true or not. I'll let my audience know if you lying or not.
You're letting your audience know a lie. That's what you're doing.
No, I told them both.
You and tell the truth.
Okay, go ahead. Say what it is.
January 6th, it had nothing to do with Mike Pence. So what was Mike Pence's job? What was he trying to do that day?
Tell us. Fill us in.
He was trying to certify the votes, right?
Okay.
When he didn't do it, what happened? Everything broke loose.
Okay.
So that's why they went to trial, and that's why they was complaining, not because Trump invited people up to the Capitol. And those that came inside the Capitol, why did they go to jail? Because everybody that went, they went home. Those that came for the rally, they went home. So, and those that was playing, because it had to be a plan. Nobody just one day just walk up there and do all the things, scaling buildings and all this stuff that they had in plan to do.
But that's not okay. But whether what you're saying is true or not, the point is that the point I was saying. No, the point of what I was saying is that the Democrats are painting this picture as if Trump was inciting the violence. And I was proving.
He said there's going to be some things going on the day before they even made it there.
What did he say? But you haven't told me what he said. You haven't told me what he said.
I just told you.
What?
He said some things going to be happening. So if things going to happen,
what is it? Okay, so if he said Maze, he said.
I heard your point. So let me give.
I know, but
okay.
Let me just say this part because you're saying something that makes no sense.
That's what you're doing.
You said that he said some things going to be happening. How is that? What is that? Okay. How is that?
Happen, didn't it?
Right, but if some things gonna be happening, why does that mean that go there and incite violence? How does that mean?
If you want to start up, if you want to do some research, you start with the whole thing, not a part of it. Just like you talk about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter had never tried to overthrow no government.
Okay,
Did they?
That's for one.
That's not no red herring. That's just the truth. Have they ever tried to
Black
overthrow?
Lives. Yeah. What? Did you not see the whole thing that happened with Black Lives Matter? That whole like year, all Black Lives Matter did was destroy stuff, destroy businesses.
Were they trying to overthrow the government?
January 6th, did January 6th overthrow the government?
No, they didn't, because Mike Pence wouldn't do it. If Mike Pence would have did, they would have. He should have went on home just like I said Jimmy Carter did. But no, and then when you hear talking about a strong man.
Who should have went home?
Trump. He should have went home and re-ran the next year.
What do you mean? Why would he do that? That wouldn't make sense.
The people that were running against him.
Why would he drop out the race? Why would he drop out the race? Why would he drop out the race?
I said he lost. He should have went home and came back and ran again. Not do all of this stuff when it came to the border. What did he do? Told the Speaker of the House to not pass the bill.
But he didn't incite. The point is he didn't incite violence.
That's all I need to know.
But that's off subject. I don't care about that.
It's part of it.
No.
It's part of the whole thing.
I care about the Democrats.
Leave that part off and you didn't go look at something
I care about the Democrats. No, because I care about the Democrats lying and saying and smearing Trump.
I'm asking you, is it true or not?
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. It's just you just leave out part stuff, and then you got these people out here just so full of hate. And why are these people trying to harm people just because a person don't want to vote for
Who's these people? Who's these people? So I know what you're talking about.
Liz Cheney and all of those people that don't want to vote for Trump, they've been getting threats and stuff. So why? Why they getting threats? You just let them people go on and vote for who they want to and leave them alone. Don't be trying to cause a ruckus, because if the person that you voted for didn't win,
Donald Trump. Who's causing a ruckus, though? Who's causing a ruckus? Who's causing a ruckus?
The ones that who you think causing it?
But it ain't Donald Trump. That's the point. You're missing my whole point.
Because when I heard
Donald Trump said nothing. Donald Trump said nothing.
Let me tell you what I heard him say. He said he knows his mama went to heaven, but he don't think his father did. Now, what did that sound like?
When did he say that?
He said it last night.
Donald Trump loves his father.
You don't hear nothing he got to say.
Donald Trump loved his father. Donald Trump loved his father and always talked highly of his father from the interviews I've seen.
You can find it. It don't take you no time. You got somebody sitting right there that can put it up. What he said with those evangelists. He said he knows his mama went to heaven, but he don't know his father if his father went. And just like that little.
But this is all off subject, Maze. Maze, this is all off subject.
He's the way he is.
Come back to my topic really quick. Topic
with the lies being spread, and you got these haters out here.
Okay.
Stuff and hurt people.
The Democrats are trying to have been smearing Donald Trump, saying that he's been inciting violence let me finish, saying that fight like hell, which doesn't even say go start some violent stuff. Even though before that, what did he say? Peacefully and patriotically, but they're going to throw that out. And they're trying to smear him for saying that. How did Donald Trump, in Maze's opinion, how did Donald Trump incite violence?
When the man said that hang Mike Pence, he said they should have got him. He should have said, y'all shouldn't be talking to my VP like that. And why y'all over there trying to tear that place? He still ain't saying nothing about it. He's still walking around here like somebody coming to get him.
And what did he say? What did he actually say?
I heard him say nothing. Really?
He didn't say nothing?
He denied and stay in court to make it look like it didn't happen. And then you gonna sit up here and say that the reason why they tried him is because of something he said. Fight like hell.
Exactly. No, that is why.
That is not why.
That's what they used. That's what they used against him.
Have you read the indictments he got? Did you read them?
There's more. Obviously, there's more that they try to use against him for sure.
If you spread something, spread the truth and don't put the lie with it. Black Lives Matter did not try to overthrow the government.
Maze, you're not being entirely honest.
But I'm asking you, did they try to overthrow the government?
Who?
Black Lives Matter.
When did no, but not that I know of. Not that I know of. But, okay, then who did try to overthrow the government?
Well, it would have been Democrats trying to overthrow the government like that. The same thing should have happened.
So how did Republicans try to overthrow the government? Explain to me.
They tried to use Mike Pence. Why did Mike Pence not?
Who said that they try to have Mike Pence overthrow the government?
Why did he certify the vote?
See, Maze, you're just making stuff up.
I can't answer the question. I'm asking you a question. Why did he certify? He didn't want him certified. Trump didn't want him certified, just like he went over there in Georgia begging for how many votes.
Certified what? But you got to slow down because I don't know what you're saying. Certified what?
The votes. That's what he was there for. And then you had 10 Congress people that were standing right along there with Trump didn't want to do it. So it had to be a plan. Not just come out and know one day. It was a plan that didn't work.
All right. Well, we got, I'm not sure. I'm not even properly
you do your
understanding.
Research and you go find out what Trump said.
Okay, then you'll have to educate me on all this other stuff another
I want
time.
You to educate yourself. That's your problem. Y'all problem. Y'all let somebody else educate you. You don't go and do it for yourself.
I am doing it for myself, and everything I said was true, but you're denying
it. Was not true. So why isn't Mike Pence running now with him as the VP?
Why is Mike Pence last comment? What? Why is Mike Pence what?
Mike Pence says he's not voting for him because he's in love with him and he don't want to vote for him anymore. Why?
So it has to mean that Trump is a bad person. That's why.
I ain't saying about no bad person. I ain't saying that's y'all with that mess. I'm asking you questions. I ain't bad person, good person. I'm asking you a question. Why Mike Pence is not running with Trump now?
I don't know. Maybe they disagree. Maybe they disagree.
Disagree. Really?
Or maybe Mike Pence is weak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come up with some excuses. So just like I say, a lie stand by itself and the truth travel. The truth stand by itself and a lie travel. And that's what they're doing, travel. Let's look at Black Lives Matter. Only thing they can restrict about is Black Lives Matter. So if you can convince me Black Lives Matter tried to overthrow the government, we might have...
I don't care about overthrow the government. I'm talking about smearing Donald Trump. Listen, I'm talking about inciting these claims of incitement of violence. January 6th is supposed to be an incitement of violence, but if that's okay, then is Black Lives Matter incitement of violence? No. So nothing they did was... I don't even know who Black Lives Matter is. Okay, man, I gotta go because now you're not even being truthful.
You gotta go because the trooper and it's better to tell the truth and stand up and tell a lie in the name of your soul.
Fair enough, Maze. Call me again.
You don't do something like that. And for whoever don't like it, I don't care because the truth stands by itself, and that's what I do. Stand with the truth.
Okay.
You know what happened at that Capitol was not right, and the person that over it sit there for 3 hours and look and ain't said nothing.
Fair enough.
With cameras smiling and drinking and going on. And you want to convince me that.
You're lying. But I got to go, man. I got other calls.
Yeah, y'all got amnesia. That's what's wrong. And strong men don't do that.
Okay, Maze. You got to go. Rolling my eyes. But I like Maze. Anyway, let's move the calls. Lord have mercy. Let me go to Tony. Tony out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, guy? Long time no see.
Long time. How's it going, Tony?
I'm doing just fine, man. I want to piggyback on Maze, bro.
Yeah, maybe you can clear up some of the stuff that she was saying because I wasn't fully following along because it's hard to tell. She's kind of goes everywhere.
She was speaking the truth. You know, January 6th was the most devastating day in American history in 100 years. You know.
Here we go.
And this man,
in what way?
Man here, in which way?
Yeah.
Donald Trump, he should be used to losing. All the businesses that he done had that folded, went bankrupt, all the people he done hurt, putting them out of business, not paying them, filing, 6 times went bankrupt. He had a casino. Who you know?
But what does that have to do about January 6th? What does that have to do about January 6th? Stay back on January 6th.
January 6th is, people died, bro. People died.
Do you, okay.
Unnecessarily.
And
unnecessarily.
I agree. I agree.
Y'all got the nerve to say blue lives matter, but then y'all go down there and kill the police. Come on, man.
Okay, Tony. Let me get in there now. So I agree that the January 16th was unnecessary. I think that it could have been done in a way better way, from my opinion. They didn't have to get carried away, and there's a lot of people who are angry. Listen, there's a lot of people who are angry, get carried away, and somebody died from it, and insane. That's
Somebody
crazy.
died.
But
People died.
but
people died, bro. I know somebody.
okay,
People died.
okay. But has Black Lives Matter not have done very destructive things?
It's not. No, it was the people that
But
came.
this is what I'm trying to understand.
Agitators came and destroyed Black Lives Matter.
You said what? Say it again.
You got agitated outside people, like Republicans came down there and started all that mess.
So is okay, fair enough. Is Black Lives Matter a good organization?
At the time it was, because they was protesting the police violence.
So when they burned the buildings and destroyed businesses and killed a black cop and did all that
Black
stuff.
Lives Matter didn't do that. Black Lives Matter didn't do that.
Okay.
Did you hear me say that?
Okay, well then what about when they destroyed businesses and burned down buildings? What was that?
Once again, my friend, because I could talk to you, Jesse, he's scared of me. I know Jesse's been scared of me for the last 15 years. I've been dealing with Jesse for 15 years, and he's been running from me ever since. But the thing is, once again, agitators, people came in there and started mess and then blame it on Black Lives Matter.
People came in there and started mess and blamed it on Black Lives Matter.
Just like that white boy came in there and broke out all them windows.
Black Lives Matter.
And all those. Wait a minute, listen.
Okay.
The white dude came in there with a mask on, found out that he was a police officer, broke out all them windows and all those on, and they told him, say, hey man, we know you ain't part of this group. We know you ain't. And he took off running. His girlfriend identified him, saying it was a police officer, and gave up his name. He lost his job and went did some time.
If that happened, then that's wrong. If that happened, that's wrong. But what you're saying, but what you're doing, Tony, is now you're painting, and there may be some truth in the fact that Black Lives Matter. Let me tell you. Let me make the point. I'll let you make your point. Let me make my point. Is that there may be some truth in you saying that not everything that happened during the Black Lives Matter little era had everything to do with Black Lives Matter, but there are a lot of things that had a lot to do with Black Lives Matter, and I don't understand why people like you or Mays won't acknowledge that. Why not be fair down the middle? Why only say January 6th was so bad, but Black Lives Matter was innocent? Well, everybody knows that's not true.
But you can't compare Black Lives Matter to what January 6th did.
Black Lives Matter was worse.
No. You got a president that lost and came and then told his followers, go attack the Capitol.
When did he say go attack the Capitol?
He said, I will be with you. Go down, be strong, and do what you have to do. Be strong.
None of those.
Hey,
None of that implies that he said go attack the Capitol.
Come on, bro. Come on.
You're lying. You're lying. Because he did not say attack the Capitol. He said fight like hell. And if you want to take it as that, then that obviously that's what the Democrats did. But nobody did he say peacefully and patriotically?
No, he didn't say. I ain't hear the word peace nowhere in there. How you gonna fight like hell and be peaceful? Come on, man. Come on, make that make sense.
Whatever, Tony.
He say the same thing when he supposedly got shot at. He stood up and talked about fight. Why you always got to bring violence to something?
But okay, fair enough. So then what about Black Lives Matter? Do they ever bring violence to stuff?
Did they ever say fight?
But do they ever bring violence at all? Or are they innocent and peaceful?
No. Did you see anybody walking around with flags?
I gotta let Tony, because it's just a lie. It's just a lie. And then Tony wondered why he gets hung up on by Jesse is because it's just a waste of time. It's just lying. That's fair if you have your own opinions about Republicans or whatever. I respect that. You believe what you want to believe to be true. I'm cool with that. But when you can't even be honest, then what are we doing? Because then you're just spewing lies on the show because you won't be honest. And you just make up stuff. So, bye. Let me keep moving the calls. I'm running out of time. Other side says, Joel, let's be honest. What are you accomplishing? Nothing. I'm just having fun. It's my podcast. Just talking. Not everything got to be an accomplishment. Let's go to Lizelle from California. Lizelle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Joel. I just wanted to comment, if I could, on the that skit, that lady with her son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, by the way. That's the same lady. I'm just going to go out on a limb and just say something that probably a lot of people may not agree, but those are the same women that will allow a person, a man, a woman, to come into her home while her kids are that age and abuse her kids. Back in the early 2000s, when I was newly legally separated from my husband, I listened to a radio announcer. I'm not going to name her name. She's a psychologist, psychotherapist / talk show host. And she would cite societal stats and studies that indicated that the likelihood of kids getting abused is when the couple, the married couple, common law couple, decide to separate. And it's so dangerous because usually the kids are with the mom.
Yeah.
So that's when, Joel, children are abused in those scenarios. So that's just what I wanted to say.
So,
and she also offered that it is highly imperative that those so-called salad. A lot of people like to describe their families when they join with another family with kids, with minors. Americans love to call it blended families. They're not blended. She called them salad families because for the simple fact that children don't like whoever strangers come into their home. They don't. They'd rather the father be them. So it would be imperative, if at all possible, that the couple, the married couple, common law, whatever they call them, stay together until the kids, all the children in the household, stay in the household until everybody turns 18, or else you're risking the poor children's lives. That's all I wanted to say, Joel. Thanks so much. And I wanted your take on it. I wanted your specific take on it, but I know you're running out of time because you're a young man. You might marry. See, I don't know if you're in your 20s, but you look very young and probably able to marry as soon as you want. And I just wanted your take. If your relationship failed, would you be open to that? Because I know Jesse says leave.
Open to what? Leave. What exactly? Open to staying until the kids are 18?
If yes, sir. If your marriage fails, would you be open to staying? And you don't have to pretend to love each other, but be decent towards one another, just so your kids are protected. Because women are crazy; they'll let the people in. I had a really good friend who said, "Oh, I met someone online," and I said, "Oh, that's nice." She said, "Yeah, he's an ex-con." I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Yeah, and I'm going to meet him. He's going to come over for dinner." And come to find out, he was a child. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what you're getting at. Let me just say this really quick, because I am running out of time. But I think that it's one of those things. That's why everybody has to not have a pre-plan of what they would do in that situation, because every situation
you have to have a pre-plan. I'm sorry.
No, you should not. You should not have a pre-plan of what you should do in that situation. Like, for example, saying that if I was in that situation, I would make sure that I stay till the kids are 18. That may not always be the best bet either, because of the fact that even though you guys are separate but still in the same house, doesn't mean you don't have anger or destruction that's still being passed on to your parents or to your children, because the children feel that separation. They feel that grudge or that disagreement between the parents, and it's just as destructive. So it doesn't necessarily mean stay in the home is the right answer. You just have to do what you see in the best situation is when it comes to it. But all in all, if people stop chasing each other and put God first, then these things will be avoided. And if they do come up, you'll see how to deal with it, especially if God is with you. So that's my answer to that.
Heard you loud and clear. Thank you, Joel. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Zell. Call me again. Yeah. It's almost like I never even have an idea. And I guess for the sake of conversation, it's okay. But never even have an idea of what you would do or what will happen. Or what is right and what is wrong. Like all that stuff, because you don't know what the moment will call for. And the answer is all in the moment. And when you pre-plan it, what happens is now you tell your mind what you're going to do and you lock it in. And when that situation comes, you go with what you remembered opposed to what the situation is calling for. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have no pre-plan. And people do pre-plans because it helps them get by life easier. They feel better about it. It's just an easier way to go about life. But be in the moment. And the moment will tell you exactly what to do and the best decision to do. I've been in crazy situations where it just seems so crazy. And I'm like, there ain't no way if I seen that from the outside, somebody else doing it, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? But when I'm in the situation, I'm like, wow. Wow. You just trust the moment. And it'll seem crazy on the outside to others, but whatever. You just do you, and the moment will guide you on what you need to be doing. So, and stop listening to advice from other people. You can hear it in, take it in, like, oh, that's cool. And it may be helpful, maybe not. But a lot of times people don't know what's going on with you internally. So let God cook. I gotta end. JC and the others on the phone. I can't get to you. Blame Maze. No, that's not my fault. Maze's fault. It's my fault. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm out of time. What's today? Oh, today's Thursday. Lord have mercy. I'm back here on Monday. I'm not here tomorrow. Have a good weekend. Check out The Fallen State tomorrow, thefallenstate.tv. Amazing stuff. Make sure you guys check that out. American Anchor Baby coming in later today at 4 p.m. Make sure you check that out. And blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Shout out to the callers. All the calls were good. Thank you guys for calling in. And all that good stuff. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Until next time. See you Monday. If the Lord is willing. Bye.